Hi, I'm Francisco J. Alvarez, and I was born in Guadalajara, Mexico, and I came here when I was 5 years old. Well, I just remember getting off an airplane, and this tall lady holding my hand, and my mom had my little sister, and then my little brother, and my older sister. Well, the process to getting my citizenship required us to go back to Mexico because we were already living here. I was, I think, 12 or 13 years old at the time. And my father brought us back to Mexico and he fixed the paperwork in Mexico City, I believe. Then we went back to Guadalajara and then we came back here. And because we were under 18, we automatically became citizens when he became one. The only one that wasn't a citizen that had to take her citizenship test was my sister Sandra. I didn't know the language, so I was in ESL classes and whatnot. I remember this one instance though before one of the teachers, she thought I had a hearing problem because I didn't understand the question she was asking. It's not that I didn't hear, I just didn't understand the question. She kept on getting louder and louder, and I thought she was screaming at me, and I was like, I started kind of crying and stuff, and my dad was at the doorway, and he came and he explained to the teacher in his broken English that I didn't speak any English, so that was fixed. My dad was always in the restaurant business. Ever since I can remember, my mom was always there helping him as well as taking care of the house and the kids. It was a good experience because my dad instilled a good work ethic in us. The majority of the people here, from my experience, have been just, to create a better life, for them and their families back home. I think one of the best ways to maybe that goes a long way to fixing this issue is just tap the resources that you have here already. They say we have 11 to 12 million illegal immigrants. Make it easier somehow for them to become citizens or to contribute to this country in one way or another. I don't have the answers, but I think that would go a long way into helping, the issues that we're facing in immigration. Oh, that'd be hard. It's just not, it's not like they're coming in and one's labeled bad and one's labeled good, and you could tell the difference. But definitely, I believe, if if people are coming here and illegally, and they start doing, like breaking the law, like I had said before, I don't see a problem. I don't see a problem getting rid of them back to where they came from, and then just gives us the rest of the people, the majority of the people that are here, a bad name, because I would say, I haven't taken a survey or nothing. I would say, over 90% of us that come here illegally, we come here just for a better life for us, for our families back home, and, we just want what everybody else wants. I think it's a big difference. By that time, if there was a person that was here for 10 days versus a person that was here like 15, 20 years, by that time, this person's, has put roots down here. They probably have a family down here. They're probably already contributing, to the American society. Their kids may have grown up here, have a job or going to school, paying taxes. For somebody that's been here for, 10 days, I think there is a big difference. My dad, he was here before us. I think he was here maybe about 6, 7 years before he brought everybody over. I know it's probably more difficult for him than it was for us, because my dad was with a third grade education, but he worked hard and he did as much as he could with what he had. And then when he brought us, it was, tough at first, but we adapted pretty good. My mom as well. None of us knew the language, but as time went on, think I speak better English now than I do Spanish. So if you don't know the language, man, and you're here, it's how are you going to communicate with people? But thankfully, especially in the Bay Area, there was a lot of resources and there's a lot of good people here that would help you, overcome these issues. And I guess these people know, if we get these, this kid or this family or this people to adjust to life in America, America benefits, not just us. Like I said, I think it would go a long way if we tap into the people that we already have here that are here legally.
My name is Sean Fusen, and I work for the law offices of James Bach in San Francisco, and I'm the operations manager for the firm. I actually kind of fell into it as a younger person. I started there when I was in college and was just working there as an admin at the time, and decided to continue on with the career after completing college. Sorry. Typical day is mostly dealing with clients and with the government. I do a lot of dealings with contacting the government about cases and following up, completing paperwork, and also dealing with the attorneys and making sure that they're completing the cases in a timely manner.
Oh.
Well, as a practical matter, he hasn't really come out with what his true policy is, to tell you the truth. There's a lot of things on the news about what he may or may not want to do, but as a fact of the matter, he hasn't really had any policies implemented other than the one that everybody hears about with not allowing certain people from some Muslim countries into the United States. However, even with that, it hasn't really changed anything in the immigration forum as of yet. So he hasn't, in my opinion, hasn't come out with a real stance on what his policy is, because he hasn't been consistent in doing anything. My opinion is that if they're breaking the law, they should be deported. That's just I mean, if you break the law here, you go to jail. That's how it works. However, you talk to police officers and they give a different circumstance. They say that the parents come here and it's the children that are the problem, because they're normally from low income families, and the parents are trying to work to make money, and the children are on their own, and they tend to get with gangs or do other things that may not be appropriate, and that's where the problem lies. But I think that that's mainly because people treat the immigrants wrongly, as far as they pay them less than what they're supposed to be making, they work long hours, they don't have the same education or the health care that everyone else is provided, yet they still pay taxes in most cases. So I think there is a dysfunction between both sides. And as far as if they break the law, I mean, I know we have safe sanctuary cities such as San Francisco, where they don't report things to the federal government. But in my opinion, I think they need to do that, because there are times where that it's necessary to deport someone if they have a violent crime or something of that nature that's felony. Very little. We don't deal with deportation. My understanding of deportation is it's a very long. Well, there's two parts to deportation. A lot of times what happens, like for instance, let's say if you get caught coming across the border, literally you are put on a bus and shipped back to Mexico. If you're here already and you get picked up for whatever reason, then you are held in jail normally for, in some cases, can be more than a year right now. And then eventually you go in front of a judge where usually there's a stay where you pay a bond and you're let out until the courts have time to actually hear your case and make a decision. And that can take several years these days. There's some people that are here for 10 years waiting for an actual court hearing to determine whether or not they have to leave the United States. So.
Gotcha. That was my question.